Good morning and welcome, everyone. I'm Jeanette Mejias, Director of Family Engagement Programs at SPAN and co-director of the New Jersey Family Engagement Hub. And we are truly excited to have you with us today as we kick off our first webinar of 2026. Whether you're an educator, a parent, a student, or a community partner, your role in supporting students' goal is truly powerful. Today, we'll explore how we can collaborate grounded in authentic family engagement to ensure academic goal setting extends beyond the classroom and becomes a shared, community supported effort. Before we get started, please take a moment to introduce yourselves in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from and your role. We also encourage you to stay engaged throughout the session by sharing live feedback. You can use the reaction button at the bottom of your screen to let us know what resonates with you. We love seeing audience responses. They help keep this space interactive and connected. And thank you for that reaction. Appreciate that. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my colleague and partner in our great work, Dr. Lanisha Makel Ridley.
Good morning, everyone. As Jeanette said, I'm Dr. Lanisha Makel Ridley, and I am the other co-project director for the New Jersey Family Engagement Hub. Just a little bit about myself. I am a mom of a 6-year-old first grader. I absolutely love to read. So if you see me in person, you'll always see me with a book. And I am so excited to be here with you today to share some information about setting intentional goals for your academics. And let me turn it over to Karen.
Thank you, Lanisha. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kim Rivers, and I am the training coordinator for our wonderful project. Certainly, setting goals is something that we all need to do in our lives. It helps us to grow. So I'm very excited that you chose to join us today. And now I'm going to pass it over to Tara.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm very excited to be here. I'm Tara Semanek. I am the Southern Regional Family Engagement Specialist. And now to Faith.
Thank you, Tara. Good morning, everyone. My name is Faith Victor. I'm the Northern Regional Family Engagement Specialist. Happy New Year, new me, but also new year, same goals. And without further ado, Evan.
Thank you, Ms. Faith. Hello, my name is Evan Hardy. I am the Central Regional Family Engagement Specialist. I am very excited to be a part of this. And now I would like to pass it over to Alexis.
Thank you, Evan. Good morning, everybody. My name is Alexis Pratt. I'm the Community Engagement Specialist for the New Jersey Family Engagement Hub. And now I'll pass it over to Casey.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Casey Dudley. I am the coordinator for the Parents as Champions of Healthy School project under the Family Engagement Hub. And I am very, very happy to be here. Happy New Year and looking forward to a great training. I will pass it over to Stephanie.
Thank you so much. Casey, good morning. Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Stephanie Babbitts, and I am the project coordinator for START on the Family Engagement Hub, working specifically with parent groups. I'm really excited to be here today. I'm so excited for this material that we're going to learn today together. And I'm going to pass it over now to my colleague, Kayari.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kayari Tyler, and I am the Virtual Event Support Specialist for the New Jersey Family Engagement Hub. Now I'm going to pass it over to Lanisha to continue our presentation.
Thank you, Kayari. So this morning, let me tell you a little bit more about the New Jersey Family Engagement Hub. The Hub is a project of SPAN Parent Advocacy Network. We are a grant that was received from the U.S. Department of Education to run the statewide Family Engagement Center. The hub serves as a centralized information hub for all things family engagement. We work with educators, families, and community-based organizations to create collaborations and bridges so that we can ensure families are engaged in their students' success. We do this through different tools and strategies, such as our in-person workshops and our online webinar series, such as the one that we're having today. Ultimately, we are working with these partners so that we can empower our youth, because we need to know what they need in order to be successful, both inside and outside of the classroom. And now I'll turn it over to Kim to talk a little bit more about Spain.
Thank you, Lanisha. So yes, let's talk about SPAN. SPAN serves as the parent center for the state of New Jersey. So we are always about supporting families with information, technical assistance, resources. Our mission as an organization is to empower families and inform and involve professionals and anyone else who is interested in the healthy development and education of children, and help our children become fully participating and contributing members of all our communities and societies. So to do so, we have over 45 programs covering everything from education, health, mental health, human services, child care, child welfare, juvenile justice. We extend to over 40 national, regional, and local programs, and we are funded by government agencies, foundations, and fee-for-service contracts. So if you'd like to explore more about what we do, please visit our website at spanadvocacy.org, and you can also find us and stay connected through other social media platforms. So now let's look at a short video on goal setting for classrooms, brought to you by 2 Minute Video.
Thanks for stopping by. This is 2 Minute Classroom, and today we're going to talk about goal setting for students using 4 key steps. We all have goals that we want to achieve as students. Maybe it's to get straight A's, or maybe to get into a certain university after high school, or a high-paying job after college, or maybe your goal is just to pass your classes. Let me know what some of your goals are in the comments below and in the community tab. Now let's get into it. Step 1 is to select a goal. This is the easy step. For example, you may have a goal to get at least a 3.5 GPA in all your courses this semester. Great goal. Step 2 is to define your motivation. Why do you want your goal? Maybe you want a 3.5 GPA to be eligible for sports. Maybe it's to get into a decent college. Or maybe it's just to keep your parents happy. Whatever it is, the motivation is what will drive you to accomplish the goal, especially if you get discouraged. Think of it as your reward for accomplishing the goal. Step 3 is to break the goal down. So you want at least a 3.5 GPA. How are you going to do it? By setting smaller goals that build up to the larger goal. This could be things like take notes in every class, study for at least an hour every day, no late assignments, attend every class, etc. I can't overemphasize the importance of this step. Accomplishing goals is a lot like eating an elephant. And how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time, of course. So breaking your goal down into bite-sized chunks helps you understand what you need to do to reach your goal and gives you the roadmap to get there. Step 4 is to write it down. If you really want to accomplish a goal, it needs to be top of mind. So you need to see it regularly, probably every day. So write down the goal, the motivation, and some of the main sub-goals and post it in a prominent place. This could be in your room, your car, your bathroom, or better yet, all 3. I have my goals for my YouTube channel posted on the wall right in front of my desk where I work on my videos. I see it all the time and I'm constantly reminded of what I want, why I want it, and what I need to do to get it. If one of your goals is related to doing well in your classes, consider subscribing and checking out my other videos. I look forward to reading your goals in the comments here below and in the community tab. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you.
So when we are talking about setting academic goals, we are not just talking about homework. We're talking about that shared responsibility, because goal setting is the ultimate form of authentic engagement, because it moves us past passive interest and into active partnership. And yes, that is the key to family engagement. And the research is clear. When schools and families align their efforts, student achievement soars. Goal setting provides that alignment. It creates a shared vision where everyone understands what success looks like for the student this year, not just at report card time, but every week. So let's acknowledge the village. Success isn't achieved in isolation. Goal setting is the roadmap for the entire community. Educators provide the context, families provide the structure, and community organizations provide enriching resources. And when we all use the same map, the student can get to their destination fast. And why does it matter? Well, it's more than just a checklist, it's actually a developmental skill. Students who learn to set and monitor goals build internal motivation, better organization, and stronger self-knowledge. So for families, goal setting opens a window into what their children are working towards and informs them how they can support them. For schools, it creates shared accountability. Everyone becomes part of that same journey. And when students start setting their own goals, they begin to see their progress as their own achievement rather than just a task for the teacher. This builds a real sense of motivation and ownership because they are the ones in the driver's seat of their own learning. Goal setting is also a fantastic way to strengthen executive functioning skills. It requires that children plan, manage their time, focus their attention, and these are all essential building blocks for success both in and out of the classroom. We also get to see how this process supports academic persistence and confidence. So when a student hits a roadblock, but has that clear goal in mind, they are much more likely to keep trying and to develop confidence to handle future challenges. And from a family perspective, having concrete goals helps parents and caregivers understand and participate in learning. It gives families a clear window into what the student is working on, making it easier to provide the right kind of support at home. And this process aligns school, home, and community expectations. It ensures that everyone in the student's life is pulling in the same direction and speaking the same language when it comes to the student's growth and success. So clearly, student success requires planning. And let's define our terms: intentions versus goals. An intention is a great starting point, but it's often too vague. I intend to do better in math, or I want to read more. Well, those are wishes, not plans. They lack a concrete path. A goal, on the other hand, is a defined target. It's specific, it's measurable, and most importantly, it's actionable. It answers that question of what will you do? How will you do it? And how will you know when it will be done? And this is critical for all audiences. The most effective goals are goals that are student-owned, goals that are student-driven. And our role as adults, whether we are parents, teachers, mentors, is to be the coach, not the commander. We help the student craft the goal, but they must own the effort and the outcome. And that way we can all get to that target together. And now I'll pass it over to Lanisha to share about how we can all get smart.
Thank you, Kim. So let's talk a little bit about SMART goals. SMART goals come from a framework that's not just a buzzword. It's a tool that is designed to turn vague intentions into a concrete roadmap for success. This is done by ensuring that every objective is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So we remove the guesswork and we help our kids, help our students focus their energy on clear, actionable steps. This structure provides a common language for students, for parents, and for teachers that we can track their progress, they can stay motivated, and we can celebrate real wins throughout the school year. These are not just things that they can use in the classroom, but these are goals that they can use outside the classroom. So let's talk about specific. We want to be clear in what the goal is and who is involved. Measurable. We want to establish how the goal will be tracked and when it will be achieved so that we can have clear, quantifiable progress. Achievable. We want to ensure that the goal is realistic and that can be achieved with the given resources available and the time available. Relevant. Why do we need this goal? How is it a part of our current plan? And how is it worthwhile to the overall big picture of what we want to accomplish? Time bound. We want to set a clear deadline or an end date for that goal. So let's talk about my reading. So this year, 2026, new year, new me. So I said, not only do I love reading, but I want to be clear about what I'm doing with my love of reading. So specifically, I said that I want to read 2 books a month. I want to read those books one book by the 15th of the month and the other by either the 30th or the 31st. Is this realistic? Yes, because I love to read. And so if I just make sure that I am clear, that I plot out my goal, that I can achieve it. Why is it relevant to me? Not just because of my love of reading, but this is something that helps me with my self-care. So that's why it's relevant. And as you can see, I did make my goal actionable and time-bound. I have clear deadlines on when I want to read those 2 books every month. So now we don't just have SMART goals. We want to make those goals smarter. So to make them smarter, we are going to talk about adding the ER onto SMART so that we can address the fact that goals are not just on automatic, and we set them and we forget them, but we want to benefit from the review and the inspiration. So the E in is about evaluating. In education and community work, circumstances change. A student might hit a roadblock or a family schedule might shift. So instead of the goal becoming a failed goal or a forgotten goal, we want to evaluate how we can get everyone involved and sit down and look at how we can still make this goal work. What do we need to change in our approach? How can we be proactive instead of reactive? The R in is about reward. This is often an overlooked step, an overlooked part of our process, but it's key to prevent burnout. Research shows that our brains require positive reinforcement to stay engaged over the long haul. So when a student hits a milestone or a community project clears a hurdle, we need to celebrate, and we need to celebrate big. It's no matter how small or how big it is, there needs to be a sense of achievement. Therefore, we need to build in rewards. It's not about just checking boxes, but we're building confidence and motivation needed to tackle the next big challenge. So when I hit my milestone of reading 2 books a month, I'm going to do something that I want to do to reward myself. And we need to determine what our students want in terms of their rewards. So now let's talk about strategies for sustained achievement. So once we get into the habit of utilizing the SMART or SMARTER goal framework, now we can talk about how do we maintain or sustain so that we have long-term and short-term goals. So we can take those big goals and break them down into measurable and actionable steps so that we don't have these things that we can't accomplish because they're so big. So we want them to be manageable. So maybe breaking them down into weekly steps. And that way we can sit down with our students and sit down with our kids and say, hey, what did you achieve this week? Which leads us to the data dialogue. We need to be able to use data to have intentional conversations about grades, about scores, about, whether they hit the goal, whatever it is, whether it's in school or out of school, we need to use data as a context to identify patterns and inform our steps. So let's talk about how we can talk about grades. They're not just about report cards. These are data points. If a student scores low on a quiz, that's data that can tell us which actionable step needs to be adjusted. Maybe they need more practice on fractions, or maybe they need more general studying. We need to use this data so that we can revise the plan, not assign blame. The 2 stars in a wish reflection is a structured feedback for growth. This is a powerful strategy for self-reflection. Instead of asking, how did it go? Which invites an answer says is fine or okay, use 2 stars in a wish. The student identifies 2 stars, which is 2 things that went well or that they did correctly, and 1 wish, 1 specific thing they wish they could improve or change for the next effort. This forces them to acknowledge success and to take ownership of the next thing that they need to adjust. Structuring success at home. In order to be able to focus on creating goals and making change, it starts at home. You can have a structure for success by planning out certain things, such as a learning hub. A learning hub is a dedicated, distraction-free space that is an environment that has a direct impact on your students' ability to learn. To help your child create a learning hub, it doesn't have to be a fancy desk. It just needs to be a work area that is well lit and has as few distractions as possible. This signals that when they are there, it's time to focus on what they need to do for school. Consistent check-ins. As I said before, we want to break those goals down into weekly actionable steps, weekly nuggets that they are going to achieve. And then we have these consistent check-ins every week to talk about progress. So you schedule your brief and weekly check-ins. This isn't a lecture time. Instead, it's a non-judgmental progress report talk. You can ask, how did your goals track for this week? What do you think that you accomplished? What do you think got in the way? What can we do differently next time? What do you need from us in order to achieve your goals? It's just a brief check-in. I know I do this every week myself. I sit down on Sundays and I look at what needs to be accomplished for the week ahead. And I break those things down into daily nuggets. I do daily. Weekly is probably the best way for you and your child. And this is not just about what they're doing well, but this is also a time that you can set in praise. You're rewarding their efforts. It's not just about the process. It's not just about the outcomes. It's about checking in and working with them to achieve their goals. So, for example, you don't have to just say, great job for getting an A. You can also say, I noticed you really stuck to your study schedule this week. That effort is paying off. This teaches them that their strategies and their efforts are leading to success, and it's encouraging a growth mindset. Flexibility, troubleshooting and adjusting the plan. We all know that things happen, life happens, and sometimes goals need tweaking. We need to teach our kids, teach our students that it's okay to troubleshoot. It's okay to adjust. If a goal is too challenging, if it seems unsurmountable, we break it down further. If it's too easy, we raise the bar. Flexibility is part of the plan, and it teaches them how to do life. And now let me turn it over to Faith.
Thank you, Dr. Lanisha. So New Year, New Me is not just about personal change. It's about how families can turn academic intentions into real achievements at home. So now let's talk about some strategies targeting specific audiences who might be present today. And let's start with educators. So educators, for best results and frankly best practices, partner with your family, especially when it comes to creating goals. Number one, build goals in partnership. We often set goals for students, but for real impact, we need to set them with the family. Use your next conference to identify 1 or 2 SMART goals that can happen at home. When the family helps design the plan, they are much more likely to help execute it. Use parent-teacher conferences or virtual check-ins to collaboratively build 1 to 2 home-based, measurable SMART effort goals with the family. Document and share this joint goal to foster mutual accountability. And families want to help too, but they often don't know how to navigate our digital portals and all the frameworks like SMART goals. So educators, please consider providing trainings in a digital resource hub. Instead of a long meeting, send a 90-second video or a 1-page cheat sheet, making trainings accessible and bite-sized. This removes the barrier to participation. Offer brief, accessible training resources, 5-minute video tutorials, 1-page guides, quick bullets to families on key concepts. How to read the online grade portal, how to use SMART framework to increase their ability to participate. They're already feeling overwhelmed, so the best thing to do is break it down 1-to-1. And when initiating conversations with families, start with talking about student strengths. Relationship building isn't just a soft skill. It's the foundation of problem solving. Always start a conversation by highlighting a specific strength you've seen in the student. When a parent feels you truly see their child's potential, they become your strongest ally instead of feeling defensive. A strong relationship is the foundation for effective partnership and collaborative problem solving. And when discussing growth, focus on teaching the effort versus outcome distinction. We need to explicitly teach students that they don't always have the ability to control the A, but they can always control the effort. The best thing to do is operate, move in excellence. By focusing on behaviors like attendance and active participation, rather than grades and only outcomes, we reduce academic anxiety and empower students to take ownership of their daily habits. And families want and need to know how their children are doing. So be transparent about progress. Accountability shouldn't be a mystery. Once you set those joint goals, keep a shared document or a simple digital tracker. When everyone, the teacher, student, and parent can see the same progress in real time, It keeps the momentum and prevents surprises at the end of the term. And how best can educators let families know what's happening? By practicing communication to build engagement. Engagement shouldn't only happen when something is wrong. You shouldn't only be talking to the parent when something's wrong. Create low-stake touch points, like a quick monthly virtual check-in, positive news emails. These small interactions build a reservoir of goodwill that makes the difficult conversations much easier to navigate later on. Now on to our families. We want to always remember that student success requires collaboration. We are all working together for the student. Host a weekly 15-minute goal huddle. Our first big takeaway is the power of the 15-minute goal huddle. We recommend doing this every Sunday night. Sunday night typically is getting the backpacks ready, making sure the homework is done, the uniform or the clothes are ready. I call it the Sunday reset. It's a quick sync to look at the upcoming week. By identifying roadblocks on Sundays, you replace that Monday morning or Thursday night panic and stress with a proactive plan. You're starting the week off just right. Communication. Adopt a coach mindset with a I notice language. Next, we want to shift from being a manager to being a collaborative coach. A simple way to do this is changing your phrasing. Instead of asking, why didn't you do your homework? Try saying, I noticed you skipped your math review. This I notice language is less accusatory and opens up a dialogue where the student can explain their process without getting defensive or even being scared. Using data together, diagnose and review collaboratively. When it comes to checking the online grade portal, try to do it with your student rather than behind their back. Use it as a data point for a strategy meeting. Ask them directly if a missing assignment was a time management issue or difficulty issue. This helps you set SMART goals based on facts, not frustration, and keep you both on the same team. Environment and focus. Designate device-free focus zones. Environment design is key. We suggest designating device downtime zones. This means set times or areas where non-essential devices, including your own, are put away. It symbolizes that focus groups is a family value. Ask your child if their study space actually works for them. Sometimes a simple change in lighting or a different chair or different position can make the work feel less like a chore. Redefining rewards. Celebrate action steps and effort-based wins. Let's talk about rewards. We want to celebrate the action, not just the grade. If your student sticks to their study schedule for 3 weeks straight, celebrate that. Use non-material treats like picking the family movie. This reinforces the idea that the effort and the process are what leads to the result. The long game, relationship and habits. Prioritize relationship first and small wins. Finally, remember the relationship first rule. Sometimes the best way to improve grades is to stop talking about them for a night and just enjoy each other's company, quality time. A trusting relationship is the best motivator. Focus on consistency over intensity. Small daily habits like checking a planner are much more valuable for long-term success than a one-time all-nighter. And now for the star of the show, our students. Vision-driven goals. Be smart. Don't just set goals because a teacher told you to. Look at your academic vision board. Think about the new year. Every SMART goal you write should be a brick in the path toward the college degree or career you want. When the work gets hard, remember your why. What keeps you moving? Master time blocking and scheduling. In college and the professional world, I'll do it later doesn't work. Procrastination doesn't work. Laziness doesn't work. You need to conquer managing your time. It's a skill that you develop. This means assigning specific hours of your day to specific tasks. It's how CEOs and project managers handle complex deadlines, and starting this habit now gives you a massive head start. Be organized. And the 5-minute rule. Procrastination is usually just a fear of getting started. Use the 5-minute rule. Commit to working on a difficult task for just 5 minutes. Often the hardest part is breaking the static friction of starting. Once you're in it, you'll find the momentum to keep going. Prep before you step. Isn't it just so cute? Prep before you step. So think like a pilot. They don't just take off. They run a checklist. They make sure everything's in place. Before you start an essay or project, gather your notes, open the right tabs, and clear your space. This professional discipline ensures you aren't interrupted by a lack of tools once you're in the flow state. Periodic self-audits. One of my favorites, time for reflection. Don't just reflect when it's a new year, reflect every semester, every quarter, every other month. Successful people don't just work hard, they work smart. Work smarter, not harder. Once a week, ask yourself, is my current routine actually getting me the grades or the growth I want? And is what I'm doing getting me in the right direction? If the answer is no, it's time to audit your process and try a new study technique, a new study schedule, a new strategy. Be prepared to pivot. Academic achievement isn't a straight line. You will hit roadblocks. You might fall down, but as long as you get back up, that's what matters. Life success comes from the ability to pivot. If a specific strategy isn't working, change a tactic, but don't change the goal. This resilience is what separates those who finish from those who start. And last but not least, our community. Community-based organizations play a critical role as a community resource, filling the gaps in different ways, such as providing designated quiet study hour spaces. Not every student has a quiet home environment. We can advocate for local libraries and community centers to establish quiet hours specifically for students. By providing free Wi-Fi in a focused atmosphere, the community creates a physical space that values and protects learning. Intergenerational mentorship. Success is contagious. We should encourage partnerships where high schoolers mentor middle schoolers or retired professionals offer homework help. These mentors provide more than just academic aid. They provide an outside perspective on goal accountability that is different from a parent or teacher. Unified resource portals. There are amazing resources out there, but they are often scattered. The community can lead the way by creating a one-stop shop portal. Whether it's hosted on a town website or a library page, it ensures every family knows exactly where to find free tutoring or even free study tools. Celebrate effort-based wins. As a community, we tend to celebrate the straight A student or the star athlete. Let's shift the culture by sponsoring awards that celebrate most improved, highest perseverance, the most kindness. When the local pizza shop or town council or even local bodega recognizes effort, and it reinforces the idea that hard work is what our community values most. Recently, I was watching a viral YouTube short, and it's the deli in the Bronx. And it's students who make 90% are given $100 and get a free shop as a reward. It all started with the bodega owner, and week by week, day by day, different students throughout New York, throughout the Bronx, they come in, they show the owner, they got all A's, they got all A's and B's, and they're given a reward, a free item from the bodega, also known as the corner store. Sponsorships of tools. Local businesses can play a huge role beyond just donations. They can sponsor SMART goal kits, planners, timers, and organizational tools for families who might not be able to afford them. This removes the financial barrier to the professional habits we're trying to teach those students. Skill sharing workshops. Let's bring the real world into the classroom. We can organize community members to lead short workshops on how they use goal setting in their actual careers, how they use math in their career, from tradespeople to tech founders, to business owners, to those that work at ShopRite. It helps students see that the habits they are building now are the exact same tools they'll use for lifelong success. So in fact, let's share this newsreel. So this is the deli viral YouTube video short I was talking about. The deli that motivates the community.
Am I seeing this, Malik?
Yep.
96, 100, 100, 100.
There's something undeniably sweet happening on Staten Island.
Yo, Alma, I told you I'll get honor roll.
Kids coming in flashing glowing report cards.
I got my honor roll.
and getting a big boost.
Good, let's go.
From the man who owns the corner deli, Wael Wali Al-Selwi, doling out groceries for good grades, all starting in 2023 with a 6th grader, Zamir, who is trying and trying to make honor roll.
You're the man, Zamir.
I was so proud of him, man. I was like, yo, man, go ahead, grab whatever you want.
What would Wally tell you?
He's like, dream big.
An idea was born. Wally, a father of 3 whose children are living in Yemen, was initially paying out of his own pocket, but as word of mouth spread, his brother started a GoFundMe to help more high achievers.
All kids are smart. They just need someone to believe in them.
At first, he said, it was mainly chips and sodas, but that gradually changed to all kinds of groceries that families need.
For a whole month straight, all I see is kids. The first thing is eggs, 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 eggs.
The program, now formally Grades for Grabs, giving kids a reason to believe in themselves.
If I'm able to change kids' lives, it's my mission to just keep going.
Sam Brock, NBC News, Staten Island.
What a mission.
And now Casey will take us through weekly templates.
Thank you so much, Faith. I was just getting myself together because that really actually was very moving, that segment on that news article. I think that's something that we can all learn from within our communities. Great segment. Looking to use that and do some more with that, as hopefully at a later date. So looking into weekly goals. So here's a template for how you can meet your goals with students and discuss goals setting at home. We provide this in the Google Drive that you can access once you have completed the survey. You can make copies and you can update it as needed. But here are some examples of language that you can use when doing your weekly check-in with your students, starting with the positive opener. When you start one specific win from the past week. For example, I love seeing how you handled that difficult math homework on Tuesday. Before you dive into numbers, I want to call out something awesome. I saw this week, I was really impressed by how you handled that difficult math homework. You stuck with it even when you got frustrated, and your persistence was a huge win. Reviewing the data. For any missed assignments or low scores, ask, was this because you didn't understand the work, or did you run out of time? Let's pull up the portal and take a look at everything together so we're on the same page. As we're scrolling through these updates, as there are grades or comments in here that surprise you or look different than you expected. Identifying roadblocks. Open the grade portal together. Ask, are there any surprises here for you? For instance, you can say, I see a couple of spots where things didn't go quite as planned. Let's look at those specifically. Was this the case that the material was just really confusing, or did we just run out of time and didn't get finished? I want to make sure we're addressing the right issue. The one thing goal. Set one SMART goal for the next week. Example, instead of trying to fix everything at once, let's pick just one specific goal for the coming week. For example, maybe commit for checking the portal every day at 4 p.m. so nothing sneaks up on us. What feels like it's most helpful? One thing you can actually focus on. And then there's the resource check-in. Ask, what do you need from me this week to make this goal happen? For example, here's a backup. I'm here to back you up. So tell me, what do you need from me this week to make this goal happen? Do you need a quiet hour this afternoon or some help breaking down the project, or maybe just a reminder at certain times? Goals and policy. Goal setting is embedded in New Jersey education policy. The New Jersey Education Framework actually embeds goal setting everywhere. It's not just a nice to have best practice. It's aligned with both the state and federal expectations. From our academic standards, the New Jersey SLS, to the whole child framework, goal setting is the driver for students' growth. The NJTSS relies on setting and monitoring goals to determine if an intervention is actually working. The system recognizes the family as the student's first most important teacher. That is why we have key resources like the New Jersey Family Engagement Hub and SPAN. They are the core organizations providing training and support to make sure that goal-setting process is truly a partnership. For students with disabilities, family involvement is absolutely crucial. Families are mandated participants in designing measurable goals within the IEP and the 504 plan, reinforcing that their voice is essential to student success. Now here we have a directory of resources within New Jersey where you can find tools to support the journey towards academic achievement. So first, of course, there is the statewide academic advocacy support, which includes the New Jersey Family Community Engagement, the New Jersey Department of Education, Family and Community Engagement, this is their official website portal for the curriculum standards and graduation requirements and family toolkits. There's SPAN, the Parent Advocacy Network, which we are the primary resource for family, schools, and partnerships and special education rights and parent leadership training. There's the SEL, Social Education and Social and Emotional Learning for New Jersey. Their website will provide a statewide network promoting social emotional learning to enhance student resilience and academic success. You have the New Jersey School Performance Report, and this website will help you providing data-driven insights to help families identify academic strengths and specific improvements and goals. Then we have digital learning skills and building. These are free for New Jersey residents. The cost is free for New Jersey residents. Jersey Clicks, their website, if you go there, you will find New Jersey's one-stop electronic resource portal to test prep and critical thinking tools. The New Jersey State Library, it's for student research. This website will help access professional grades, database, and digital archives using a local library card. Khan Academy, New Jersey Aligned. This website is free. It's personalized learning paths that many New Jersey districts use to supplement math and science curriculum. And then there's the career and long-term vision tools. New Jersey's Career Connection. The website here will offer tools to students to explore New Jersey-specific industry trends, internships, and career pathways. And then there's the New Jersey Transfer, a critical tool for high schoolers to see how credits move between New Jersey communities, colleges, and four-year universities. This here that you're looking at is our activity worksheet, the Family Guide to Academic Achievement. It provides a quick tip for families with elementary and middle school and high schoolers. This printable document will be accessible in our Google Drive, which we will share with you once again when you complete the survey. And now I will pass it to Jeanette.
Thank you, Casey. Now this is the best time. It is survey time. So we're going to ask you to take a quick survey, just for about 1 minute. So we're going to cue in the survey now. Thank you. Thank you so much. As you know, these surveys are essential for us to gain feedback so we can continue to deliver awesome webinars such as the one that you're at today. So let's talk about some great upcoming events and news that we have in the future. Tomorrow, January 14th, join us for an information session with our partner at SEL4NJ, the Social Emotional Learning Alliance of New Jersey. You'll learn about their mission, current programs, and opportunities to get involved, and all audiences are welcomed. Next week, on January 20th, we'll host our Lunch and Learn from 12 to 1 p.m. on winter wellness and self-care. This session will offer practical tools to help you stay grounded, energized, and resilient throughout the season. And on February 3rd, we invite you to an evening learning session with our partner, Patterson Education Fund. The topic will be Parent and Community Advocacy, Understanding the School Budget. And lastly, on Tuesday, February 10th, we'll hold our next webinar in partnership with our friends at Mass Mutual. This will be a part 1 of a 5-part learning series on financial wellness. Families will walk away with tips, tools, and resources to support smart money choices together. All of the links are in the chat, and you can also visit our website for flyers and full event details. At this time, we want to thank you for joining us at our webinar today. We hope that if you did not take an opportunity to complete the evaluation, that you do so in the next few minutes. If you require a certificate of participation, you can indicate that in your survey. Thank you for joining us here at the Hub. Until next time.